You're watching the Retreat Review.
Live from New York.
You know, then you're immediately like, well, so why didn't the lasers work on the door? And then the next scene, like, you see that, like, that whole mountaintop is gone.
But we're not hooking them up to a machine to...
We're not draining their life energy to keep the planet running. Yes. And Kirk's like, hold on a minute.
Yes, this is Kirk.
I either wait for the Federation or I send out a distress signal, and anybody who comes to this planet, I eat them. I eat them.
Riker had to be, like, over the top and cliche in his, like, actions for the casino.
Do you see it, Enterprise? Do you see it, Enterprise? Sorrow, cry for the children. First and last, first and last, first and last. Delicious.
All Sarek does is goes like this. And
Yeah, he knocks his hand away.
And then the Tellarite's like, ah! Kirk literally, he looks at him and he goes like this.
Program complete.
Save it.
Enter when ready.
Okay. Welcome back to another Retrek review, where each week we talk about Star Trek. And this week we're talking about Season 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation, Episode 23, and that episode is entitled Sarek. It originally aired May 14th, 1990. It was a teleplay and story by Peter S. Beagle. He is a fantasy novel writer. He wrote things like The Last Unicorn.
Ooh.
He also wrote the screenplay for the 1978 animated version of The Lord of the Rings. It was taken from an unpublished story by Mark Cushman and Jake Jacobs. It was directed by Les Landau. Les Landau was a first assistant director in much of the first season, but he went on to direct up at the episodes The Arsenal of Freedom, The Schizoid Man, Samaritan Snare, The Survivors, Deja Q, and Sins of the Father.
Nice.
The synopsis for Sarek is: violent emotions sweep the Enterprise when Ambassador Sarek, a foundational figure of the Federation, comes aboard to conclude a decades-long diplomatic mission.
Yeah, which we get to see in full, which is nice.
Which is really, it's well worth it.
We get to see the aliens and how
Yep.
they resolve peace treaty with them. Yeah, it was cool.
Why they work the way they work, yeah.
Why they're there, why they have to be in that vat of jelly.
Yeah.
No questions left on the table.
Yeah, well, that was our introduction to the episode. But before we move on to supporters and patrons of the podcast, let's go over to Caleb and ask Caleb what he further thinks of the episode.
I enjoyed this episode, and since I'm not going to enjoy next week's episode, I'm going to give this, I'll give this a 2. This is a good 2.
A 2? Wow.
A 2 Akuda, yeah.
Wow, okay. All right.
It's right on the border, really. Could be a 3 easily.
But there's something not making it a 3. And we'll
If
probably
Sarek
talk about
would have said, I enjoy being on the Enterprise because my son served on it, it would have been a 3. But he didn't, so it's not. It's a 2.
Yeah, to me, it's there's some moments in it that are just like, okay, yeah, sure. It's very one note at times, which is fine.
Yeah.
But overall, it's really great to see a really older actor has a lot under his belt, who's been on Star Trek things before, show back up and, like, really, honestly, like a couple other actors in the series, like, have gone toe-to-toe with Patrick Stewart and, like, hold really great scenes and moments. So,
yeah, he's great. Yeah, and, like, since this is in the future, why not?
right.
Why not have Sarek or Spock? Because they could just be exactly the way they were in TOS, and aged a little bit, but that's what's weird to me that it's hard for me to remember is that like this show came out right after like the Star Trek movies or before, but some of this was before the movies.
Yeah, I think
And
I
it's
think
like
5 has come out at this point, and that's it. Yeah, up to 5.
so like the original cast is all still around.
Yes, yeah.
But this show comes out and they pretend that like, well, this is way in the future and everybody's dead. Why would you do that? You know how fun it would be to have like crossovers occasionally, like wouldn't the
Well,
fans enjoy that?
the man at the wheel did not think that.
No, he's an idiot. So
It gets interesting in the beginning of in trivia. It's interesting.
what an idiot.
Well, that was Caleb's rating and thoughts on his initial thoughts on the episode.
Yeah.
But before we get into our full review, let's first, right off the bat, let me go over here just a little. And we thank Ed Markstar and Captain Olimar for their Patreon support. We appreciate those guys sending out their fine dollars our way,
They're dollary dues.
making us look good for the internet folks out there that are like, what? These guys have Patreon support?
What?
I should.
What are
do
these
that
idiots
too.
talking about?
We appreciate those guys doing that. And we specifically thank Ed Markstar for assembling together environments for alien representatives so that they can be in a nice, comfy area.
And telling Wesley that he's got no chance with the ladies.
Yeah. And we thank Captain Olimar for honoring those who deserve the high praise and putting his own mental psyche at risk so
Yeah.
that diplomacy and peace can always be achieved.
It's true. It's a mental strain.
That's right. As a privilege for being a patron of the podcast, they get their comments read during the podcast. And Captain Olimar left us a review on our review of Hollow Pursuits, one of Caleb's favorite episodes.
Love it.
He says, "You're nothing but a pretty mannequin in a fancy uniform."
Ooh.
And then Barkley says, "Full of hot air." And he shoves him, I think.
Yeah.
He then says, "Caleb is coming in hot this week." Lots of opinions, lots to say. Is Barkley a problem? Is he fun to watch? Do
No.
they have medication in the future?
No.
Will brings up the medical side of things as well, so I'm glad it's not just me. We must assume that no amount of medical intervention can help this man, or else they would have already. Yeah. It's very clear. Also, this is another Counselor Troy is bad at her job episode. Very much so.
Yes,
Very much so. It's kind of painful, to be honest. Personally, I was also wondering how Caleb would feel about him because, like he said, he brings up that the future is filled with uber supermen who fly on super ships and save the day with their big brains, and they meet someone who isn't that. Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, it's a thing where I was thinking every time I edit it and we like just roast an episode like hardcore, especially an episode like that. Looking at an episode like Hollow Pursuits as like just a television episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, is it a bad episode? Absolutely not. Like, it's a great episode. There's great acting. It's funny. A lot of weird things happen in it. It's a delightful episode to just sit and watch and be mindless about it. But when we keep circling back to this thing that they constantly talk about in the show, which is like, we're beyond these things. We don't feel that way. The future is perfect. Humanity has got their things together. And then it just sounds like we just absolutely hate Star Trek. Especially me. Like, at least you can have this opinion of, like, you're watching it, you're consuming it, and then you have, like, a raw opinion of it, which is great. But for me, who's, like, been a long-time fan, it's like, does this guy even like Star Trek? Because every episode he seems to hate it. I don't know. It's just like what he says is the show is really about these uber supermen on super ships with their super brains. And, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it gets old.
Yeah, when it's not that, it's very glaring, and I think that is the ability to have like different eyes looking back and seeing that they
Yeah.
could have made this 90s show a lot better, but that's all right.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think I talked about at the beginning of that episode was just like I don't want to talk about this anymore because I'm sick of talking about it every week. Is that
Yeah.
for the show to have drama and things to happen, like they have to destroy the idea of their perfect society and everything's great.
Yeah.
Because if it was, there would be no show.
And we've like you said, we've definitely just discussed it probably ad nauseum at this point, but it's very obvious that the less Gene Roddenberry gets involved, the more the show becomes better, but it violates the intention of what he wanted for the show. It's just a weird problem where it's like the show gets better, but it's because it doesn't follow all of those hard
Yeah,
lines and rules.
that is true.
It's not
Yeah,
his
that is
fault.
true.
It's just like I think for people writing for Star Trek, I think it gets a little boring that like it has to be an alien force coming onto the Enterprise. That's the problem. Like there's never infighting, there's never drama, there's never problems on the ship. It's always a stupid alien on the outside is making
Yeah,
problems for the ship. And it's like it gets old really fast, especially as media changed, when you only have like four stations back in the 60s and then cable comes along and now you have like 150 stations in the 90s. It's like
yeah,
I could just watch something else.
I know that's true.
Yeah. It's all about ratings. Ed Mark Starr talks about it all the time. It's all about ratings and money and production. All it comes down to.
Yeah,
Any-
always.
Anyways, Captain Elimar says here, personally, my feelings about him is that he's great. I liked seeing him on screen. And that's what I was talking about. A lot of the fans enjoy Reginald Barclay. I like him too, but I think, and Captain could probably agree with me, is that a lot of it is because he has an actual story arc and he's not just a one-off annoying character.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Barkley. It's just I don't like how he's treated by this group of people that are supposed to be better than that. That's all.
Yeah.
And
And
also, like, Jordy even says, like, I don't know how he made it through the academy. It's like, well, yeah, I don't know how he would either.
yeah, I just noticed he does say probably a Vegeta situation or something.
Nope. Nope. Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
no. Oh,
No.
okay. No.
Nope. 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 I'm sick of sick of them comparing Vegeta stuff.
He says, like Q, Barkley gets better with more episodes. So,
Yeah. No, I look forward to seeing Bartley more. It's been 3 episodes since and haven't seen him. So he should have been in this episode.
it would have been funny if he was in this episode.
He would have been really docile and been like, you know what? Actually, I think you should shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
Yeah, he should have done it to Troy, and then she'd been like, wow, you're having a lot of personal growth right now.
And he slaps her right across the face. You shut your mouth, you mediocre therapist.
Oh, what's that terrible thing I always hear? Live your truth. Live your truth.
Oh, live your truth. Yes. Yeah, you gotta live your truth.
Barkley doesn't fit Gene's idea that humanity is past its conflicts with each other. The opening of the episode shows this the most. The way Riker has a lot of contempt towards Barkley and Geordi is very harsh.
Yep.
Very much so. Really like the scene when Picard...
I don't even like the guy.
Why do I have to be his friend?
No. I can't even stand being in the same room.
And the Oscar goes to LeVar Burton.
I bet even if I could see his face, I'd hate it. Boy, good stuff.
Really like the scene when Picard tells them to just stop complaining about Barkley and instead try and help him.
Yeah.
Loved Will saying that that Riker plays to his audience, joke around with the boys, tell on Wesley to Picard because he knows he hates Wesley. Shut up, Wesley.
Yep. Shut up, Wesley. Shut up, Wesley.
Very good. Agree with Will that Geordi seems to genuinely try and get to know Barkley after getting a dressing down, not forced, even if he calls him a quote-unquote project.
Yeah.
Picard calling him broccoli was just so good. How embarrassing, LOL. It was very good.
That is good, yeah.
It was very, very good. Patrick plays the scene super well. You totally get what he's trying to do, and then he fricks it all up. That's good. Yeah. It's a really great scene. I really enjoy it.
Yep. Yeah,
Uh,
that's how it goes. It's always like the guy that is like reprimanding everybody else for that stuff and then slips up
yeah.
and says it to the person.
Guinan continues to be a better counselor than Troy in every way. Yeah, it's painful. Like, I think a lot of Troy's stuff would be bad, but
Yeah.
man, you shine such a flashlight on it when you put like Whoopi Goldberg in a scene and she's just
Yeah.
like
She's a better.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just like,
Yeah.
uh-oh, oh no.
If in the Enterprise had Whoopi as like 10 forward and then they had like a
Mhm.
really good barber, they wouldn't need a counselor at all, you know?
Yeah,
That's how I
yeah.
feel. Even this week, just like that's weird.
Now here's a good point that you bring up, and I'll pose this during our comment here because maybe Captain Alimar or anybody else will comment on it. Should there even be counselors in the future?
Nope. No, there should not.
Like immediately, no.
No, but
Next
also
question.
remember they don't police the galaxy either, but you know.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, just a curious thought.
Nope, there should not be counselors.
He says, I love Troy this episode. I know she is getting exploited because she's so attractive, but I just really like how monotone her voice gets when she's playing herself as the goddess of empathy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
she's good.
yeah, her acting isn't bad in the episode. It's just what they're doing with her.
Yeah.
Her computer acting is very fun to see. I get Will's qualms about her, and I have them too. At least her costume is pretty tame, and his fantasy of her, while problematic in its conception, could have been way more demeaning. And then he
Yeah.
says, I don't want to defend this anymore. So Holodeck probably should have rules. Yes. Yes. I agree that they did go very tame on her character, and like it isn't overtly like rapey on Barclay's part or anything like that. Like, of course.
Yeah.
And I agree. And I'm glad that they didn't make her in some like horrible outfit.
Exploited. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But at the same time, it's still not good.
It's not great, but yeah, no, I that's the thing is like at least Bartley wasn't using it as like a sexual thing,
Yeah,
you
like in
know?
a dungeon where all the women he interacts with, like on a daily basis, are just like in some compromised positions, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God!" And then Troy's like, "This is very healthy. This is very healthy."
Yeah. No, he's just expressing himself healthfully. He's like the yoga ball in the gym. That's what the simulation is. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It's
And you
some
get to
of
see
the.
Wesley Blue Boy, which is nice, you know? That's cool.
I love Wesley eating pie.
Oh, Bartley's gonna come and spank you, Wesley. I love him eating pie, yeah. Don't we all?
So he says, so I paused the episode 2 times this week to get a good long look at the stand-ins they got for the episode.
Oh,
First was when Barclay was sword fighting the Three Musketeers, Data, Geordi, Picard, and it was so clear that they got some sword dude to do the wide shot. That's really funny.
that's really funny.
The second time was when Geordi was in the same shot as Musketeer Picard and Data, who both get lines, but not Geordi because he is just some other dude. Slapped a
Holy.
visor on some guy, no one will notice. I do think I remember it clearly not being LeVar Burton, but I don't know if I caught the first one. I think I
That's really
know the
funny.
second one. It's really funny.
Well, even like Picard all dressed up like in a full beard and mustache, like it could be anybody. I don't care.
Yeah, he did do really good when they made him that guy from the Shakespeare episode. They did do
Yeah.
he at least didn't look like Patrick Stewart that
Yeah.
well. Hard to cover up the
Yeah.
man's voice, but yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Why don't people knock in the future or lock the door or announce their presence to avoid embarrassing situations?
Because society is perfect and they don't need to see horrible things in the holodeck and then go talk to the therapist about it. So
It's because nobody's doing nefarious things behind
nope.
locked
Everybody's great.
I'm reading about Shakespeare and physics.
There's no need in the future for sex.
Also, there's no
So-
TV or videos, remember too.
Right. So nobody does anything weird.
That's right. You go to the holodeck for that
We've
stuff.
completely eradicated fetishes.
Yep.
Just like France. Gone.
Now
We don't even kiss like that anymore.
He says, I watched the 93 the Three Musketeers movie like a bunch as a kid. So
The
I got a
93 one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a real kick seeing everyone in period wear. Yeah. So I'll tell something really funny. I have not watched that movie in a long time, and it has Kiefer Sutherland in it. But
Yeah.
the one guy, every single time I see his face, and he's in tons of stuff, he usually now plays like a scientist who has to tell people they're all going to die. His name's Oliver Platt, and he plays one of the Musketeers in that movie. And it doesn't matter how many times I've seen him in other things, bigger roles, I always think of him in the 93 Musketeer movie. It's really funny.
That's
Um,
really funny. I'm looking it up right now because I do remember watching this as a kid.
oh yeah. I think everybody.
Oliver Platt. Okay. Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah. That's
He's
really funny.
hilarious in the movie, and I think that's why he sticks in my brain. But he's in so many other things that are probably more popular than that movie.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh,
Tim Curry was in this too.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're all in it. Chris O'Donnell.
Charlie Sheen. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
He then says, "Hey, one of the Musketeers is named Porthos. That sounds like
Yeah.
a reference to something." Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, that'd be a good Star Trek show? Probably not.
He says, whatever, probably nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, Oliver Platt was Porthos.
Yeah. Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny. So he says, love Troy telling them all about how the fantasy was healthy until she saw what Barkley was doing. My theory is that she didn't think she would be in there too, since she hadn't interacted with him until recently and thought she was safe.
Yeah, you're never safe from Barkley's thoughts.
Never safe. That's you remember a horror movie Mrs. Doubtfire trailer remake?
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'd like to see that of Hollow Pursuits. That'd be really funny.
Yes, I would like that as well.
Lots of talk this week about how we don't replicate people because we think it's weird. While it is weird, it's more like we can't replicate people like the Holodeck does. If Holodecks existed, this is probably just a reality of what they are used for. If you replaced every fantasy crew member in Barclay's fantasy with fake Geordie stand-ins, it wouldn't make his addiction any less problematic, just more palatable to us.
Hmm.
Many people are more understanding about what Barkley is going through since they live in a society where holodecks already exist and people can have addiction problems to them. They all saw
Yeah.
the PSAs in school. Don't date the holodeck girls. Don't replicate your friends and family, etc.
Don't replicate your friends.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. That feels like a Fallout thing where it's like, okay, boys and girls, when you're using the holodeck, here are these three
Yeah.
simple rules. Like, yeah. I do agree with him. Like, even if he was using, like he said, like fake stand-ins, and it was still a young boy and a brunette girl and a redhead girl and like an older man and a robot android man and a black man, like it would be very problematic still. Yes, I do agree.
Yeah. It's weird. It's all weird. That's the issue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny problem. We can laugh about it now. I can look back at this episode and not be so angry about it, so it's good.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't angry the first time I watched
I was outraged. Outrage!
it. Then he says Beverly is entirely computer generated this episode. Yes, she is.
That's wow. That's true.
So was she even in the episode?
No,
He
she
says
didn't get paid.
she shouldn't have. Should have been fake money.
Yep. Fake
They give her just like $200.
hollow money.
Yeah, and like Monopoly money. Here you go.
Yep. Here's your Roddenberry bucks for the week.
Yeah. I had a great time this week. 3 Akutas from me.
Nice.
The problematic holodeck stuff doesn't bother me much. I've seen DS9 and it's disgusting. So this is pretty tame.
Well, I look forward to that.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't want to say too much, but I know of some things.
Yeah. Well, when you bring more Frankies onto a show, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. So he gives a popcorn award, but we won't read that yet because we'll go over to Edmark Starr. He has also a review for Hollow Pursuits.
Nice.
Edmark Starr says, there is so much to unpack here. According
Yes.
to the production staff at Paramount Studios, the Starship Enterprise has an onboard quote-unquote fantasy machine with no
Yes.
firewall for inappropriate requests.
Nope.
Stories that involve the holodeck imply that freeform, unbounded wants and desires are just a touchpad away.
It's true.
The Starship Enterprise is not like a Navy aircraft carrier built in 1990. A Galaxy-class starship is alive with technology that enables and monitors all the activities that take place anywhere on board. The Enterprise is fully aware of holodeck requests that violate terms of use, creating holo versions of your commanding officers for some undefined purpose must surely be a sign of deeper personality concerns in the person making such a request.
Yeah, you would certainly think so.
Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? No, we're not going to allow that to happen. Here's another possibility: remote service. Who says all active members of a starship's crew must be on board? Reginald Barclay's brilliant intellect can easily serve via remote projection in the engineering department, allowing savants the opportunity to serve in Starfleet. And there's Ed, always thinking outside the box.
Yeah. I hate
Yep.
when he does that.
He should have been on the writing team in the 90s.
Yeah, no kidding.
Actually, it'd probably been sad. He would have been like Melinda Snodgrass and given all
Yeah.
his great ideas, and they would have been like, no.
Oh,
It needs
that's
to have
stupid.
sex. More sex.
No. Mm-mm. No, we need to hear the explosion in space.
Yeah. Where's the fire and the noise? That's how we know. That's
Fire.
how we know. That's how we know
Oh,
it
man.
exploded.
Bigger explosion. Why is there no explosion?
Hollow Pursuits is a story that shines a bright light on the limited imaginations of the TNG production staff.
Ouch.
The reality of people with personality disorders in 1990 have no corollary in the Star Trek future. The crew of the Starship Enterprise demonstrate no growth, no development, and no improvement in their ongoing duty of tour, which is 100% true.
100%.
Like, if I was a person who had, like, a really crippling, like, personality disorder, and I was, like, they always talk about, like, I watched Star Trek and it changed me and it gave me hope, and then you get to this episode and you're like, oh, okay, wow. I guess they don't figure that out in the next couple of years.
That's good. Yeah, it definitely changes you.
Star Trek is at its best when characters are engaged in problem solving. I wanted the whole episode to show Lieutenant Barclay helping the engineering team to understand and to find a solution to the biological contamination on board the Enterprise. All the holodeck scenes are a distraction, in my opinion.
Yeah.
1,000% agree. 1,000% agree.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and that just implies that like he just runs away every time that there's an issue,
Yeah. Yeah.
Which again is not what Starfleet officers would do.
No. And
You problem solve until you figure it out. Like that's what your job is.
Yeah, very much so. He says, I'm rating Hollow Pursuits a Roddenberry. The direction of the storyline is off course. I agree. Yeah, always a nice review from both of these guys. Really enjoyed it. Super fun.
Captain loved it.
Yeah, he did love it, and Ed just kind of was like,
and Ed hated it.
It was like meh to him. He didn't like it, and he didn't hate it. He just
yeah, Roddenberry. So he's right in the middle.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It is. So here, Caleb, here is the 2 popcorn award suggestions from our patrons. We'll circle back to Captain Alimar. He goes on to say, popcorn award to Schultz. Obviously, he's a great actor. I'm not 60, so I had no idea that he was an A-Team member. Also,
60? I think the A-Team was on in the same time as this show, wasn't it?
Like the 80s.
This is the same era, my dude.
Didn't watch it.
Funny.
Never watched them in reruns. He says, also, I barely know what the A-Team is.
Well, that's not even fans of the A-Team don't barely know what the A-Team is.
All he knows is the movie version of those guys.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In that movie,
Dude, I forgot that was even a thing. That's funny.
Anyways, he says, I barely know what the A-Team is, except for Clubber Lang. I know him. I pity the fool.
I pity the fool.
Better luck next week, guys. We got a good one. Spoiler. Yeah.
I pity the fool that don't eat no Frosted Flakes.
This is the thing. I'm pretty sure the Clubber Lang Rocky 3 movie came out before A-Team came out. I'm almost
I
positive.
think so. Yeah.
Let's
I
fact
think you're
check
right.
them. Let's fact check them. Then I'll eat pie when I'm wrong. 1982 Rocky 3. Here we go. A-Team coming in at 1983. I think they're like months apart from each other.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll put the captain is Ron Perlman in the A-Team. I don't know.
Oh,
You let us know.
yeah. How does this relate to Ron Perlman? That's what I need.
So that's who he gives as a popcorn award is Dwight Schultz. We go back to Ed. Ed says popcorn award to Dwight Schultz.
Dwight Schrute.
As Reginald Barkley, Dwight Schultz did exactly what he was asked to do. So well, in fact, that his character's appearance raises concerns in me over the decision making process taking place at Paramount Studios at the time.
That's true. His character is so good at being bad that it almost shatters the entire Star Trek world.
They're like, why would you let this happen?
Yeah. Who signed off on this? That would be me,
Here I am.
Roddenberry's lawyer.
Oh, nice.
I loved it.
So, Caleb, who does get the Popcorn Award for being the best actor of Hollow Pursuits?
So I think that's true. I think that guy, the guy that played Barkley, is good.
Dwight Schultz. Should we do it? Let that
Yeah.
man never get away from it. Da, da, da,
Nope.
da. No, that's fine. Yeah, no, it's really good. I think it's great. I love when they put like really high end actors in the show, and then those guys play like small roles, and it's like this
Yeah.
high caliber actor. Because obviously Dwight Schultz is great. So
Yeah. And he plays this real loser. So it's pretty funny.
it's true. And then the last but not least, this really funny thing that he said, and I saw it, laughed really hard, and then completely blanked on it until we read it just now.
Yeah.
He does say, Captain Lamar does say in a separate comment, Porthos Award this week to Oliver Platt also. which was very good.
That's funny.
Very, very good. Well, hey, see how much Caleb and I laughed and went on, and this is now like a 20-minute long sequence.
Yeah.
You could have a share in that if
Yeah,
you joined our Patreon, and we could laugh with you, and you could laugh with us. But if not, if that's not for you, that's okay. We appreciate your subscription anyways, and when we look at our subscribers, we see that there's a new one who just happened just a few hours ago.
Oh my God. It's
And
happening.
And that subscriber is Shane V.
Nice.
Nice. Welcome
Nice.
aboard, Shane V. We appreciate you.
Yep.
Warrior.
And so, without any further ado, let's get straight into the review. So we open up on the episode, and Captain's Log mentions they're orbiting Vulcan. Yay!
Yay. It's on fire.
It's on fire. Is he putting himself out because of the fire, or is he running through the
Yes.
corridors because
He's
his world
crying.
is on fire? Which you'll never know. So we cut to the interior of the Enterprise, and they talk about in this opening.
Awful uniforms.
I
No.
knew you were going to hate those.
Hate them.
Yeah, he mentions that Sarek has a second wife. So
Sure does.
Amanda has passed away.
Oh, yeah. Like 80 years ago.
You're right. And we also get this real subtle drop, and Picard just kind of says it and keeps going, and they do not talk about it at all, is that Picard was present at his son's wedding.
Yeah. It's really great.
Which means is married.
He's married, yo. To a human lady, probably.
Now, there is something, I think it's the book, the autobiography of Jean-Luc Picard, and I do think what you said is true, that it's some unknown human female that he's marrying, but like, that's just a book. I can safely tell you, they never show.
No, yeah. No, I figured that.
But we get our first two guest appearances of the week. We get Rocco Sisto, who's currently 73 years old, a character actor. He played Saketh. And then we had William Dennis. I have very little information on him. He's also a character actor. He played Mendrozen.
Do you find it weird that he has a human guy?
You know what? It's funny you say that. At first, I started to be like, but then I was like, I almost think that that's like a mixture of things.
Yeah.
I think it's for her. I think it's for
Yeah.
her in a way, and I also think it's also a way for perhaps a human to convey things to other humans, like how Sarek feels. Like he's being very diplomatic and very ambassadorial, where
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ah, yes, I will have a member of my team be a human so that he can interact with humans, where I fail to do so.
Yeah, I thought at first it was weird, and then when I thought about it a little bit more, I was like, oh, actually, that kind of makes sense to have like a spokesperson. Yeah.
Obviously, as the episode kind of goes on, you kind of think that maybe it's more because of his health, but eh.
Yeah, because right off the bat, they're both really weird to
Yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah. You
because
immediately
they
think,
have to be mysterious and
yeah.
weird, you know.
Immediately you're like, oh, these guys are trying to kill Sarek. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are bad guys. Hey, so when he comes on board, don't even talk to him. Don't look at him. Whatever he says, ignore it, and then make him go
Right?
right to his room. Okay?
Yeah. We want you to do that.
Yeah.
Who are we?
He's
We just
too
work with him.
he's too old to be like walking around and looking at stuff on the ship. Okay?
It's
So,
like, oh, can he go to the concert? No, that would be a terrible
God,
decision.
no, he would die probably right there.
Sitting and listening, impossible for him to do.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's funny because when they say all
Yeah.
that, Riker and Picard, I enjoyed their acting. They are genuinely disappointed. I was,
Yeah.
I enjoyed their
Like,
acting in this.
well, we planned all this because like he likes Beethoven.
Mozart, but yeah,
Mozart, yeah. Same difference.
those men would not agree with you, but that's okay.
No, 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 no.
But then we get our next set of guest appearances. We get Joanna Miles, who's currently 86 years old, a character actor playing Perrin.
Perrin.
And then we get the famous Mark Leonard, who plays Sarek. He
Yeah.
unfortunately died in 1996, just a few years after this episode, at the age of 72. So kind of crazy.
I always enjoyed that his last name was Leonard, and then his son who played was also Leonard. That was funny.
It's probably because his name is more like Leonard, so it's probably Mark Leonard, and it looks like Leonard.
He probably is, yeah. Leonard.
So I know last week you mentioned that you saw a disgusting pointed ear person
Yeah.
on the thing, but did you remember obviously like Sarek and all that? Like, was that fresh in your mind? Like, you knew who that was?
I knew who he was, yeah.
Okay, okay, so cool. So when you went into it, because basically this what this intro scene ends with is basically Sarek just refuting everything those guys just said and being like, "No, I'll go do everything. I don't care what they said."
Yeah.
And I'll see you in a couple minutes. And then he leaves, and then Picard, they do his close and zoom to Picard, and he looks a mixture of confused and relieved.
Yeah.
That's where we end it. What were your initial thoughts going into the episode? Like, okay, you see Sarek pretty quickly. This episode's called Sarek. Like, what were you anticipating from the episode?
So from the description, I knew that there was like something that was gonna be bad on board.
Oh, okay. So you
Something that
read
was gonna go wrong.
do you read the synopsises before you watch it?
I try not to,
Oh, okay, okay.
but sometimes like to make sure that like it hasn't like auto played.
Oh,
I make sure like I'm watching the right episode,
yeah.
and then
That takes a
a
second.
lot of times they're real bad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
They're like, Sarek comes on board to do peace treaty. It doesn't go well. He has to mind meld with Picard to control his emotions. I'm like, oh, okay.
Great.
So that's the episode.
Yeah. And then other episodes are like something mysterious happens aboard
Yeah.
the Enterprise.
The Enterprise crew doesn't know what to do. Like, wow, that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I knew there was something aboard the ship that was going to be that were going to have to figure out while he was on board. So yeah, I didn't know. I didn't really know what to expect.
Okay.
I was interested because it's cool to have a legacy character back.
Okay, there we go. So that was my next question is, do you actually appreciate like a TOS person being on the show, or are you like kind of so disappointed what TNG has done so far that like you obviously like Sarek being there, but it's not really like as pleasing as it could be?
I enjoy that he was there for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I like the crossover. I would like to see more of it,
Okay.
and I just wish they would reference more stuff.
I agree. No, I agree with you.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed. I thought it was cool, like that he came. They had him come back. I just don't understand like why you wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, we kind of touch on it in trivia, but yeah, I agree with you. I think
Because
it
you could
just
very easily have like come on board
right,
once.
right,
We see Bones in like the first episode, and he's old, and it's like, okay, cool,
right. It's like
but
why tease
why?
this with that and then not do
Yeah,
anything else with TOS? They do a
what
couple
purpose does
things,
it
but
serve?
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen pictures, but I'm under the assumption that it's like some weird time thing. So
I see.
yeah, so that's that. I don't know.
Yeah, the internet
Like
is a
it's
fun
cool.
place.
Yeah, it's really good.
There is I'll wait to make my final remarks on some things here once we get to the scene, and then we can tackle some more topics. But I'm glad to hear that at least you were like, I don't know, I want to say excited, but like looking forward to TOS content being on Next
Yeah.
Generation.
Yeah,
So
it's a nice callback.
yeah, so we come out of that musical intro. We come in, they're making a giant slime pit in this room, Jordy and Wesley. We learn that Wesley has a date, which was kind of funny. They grow up so fast, and then Sarek comes in the room. I love how he's like super bothered by everything in the room. He's like,
Yeah, immediately hates it.
he's like, no. And they're like, well, they're still working on it. And he's like, I understand. The room is too bright, though.
These aliens are super offended by chairs. Get these chairs and furniture out of here.
Yeah, just really funny. Good scene, though.
Yeah. So this is like your first kind of inclination that like
Yeah,
he's kind of upset. He
there's
shouldn't
something
be
going
this
on.
way.
There's something, right? Yeah. They go to the bridge, and then Picard talks about like he kind of goes on about basically how sad he is that like he's not going to be able to like interact with Sarek
Yeah.
and all these things he had planned, and he wanted to like get to know the man more and stuff, which is like a kind of an interesting thing. I was thinking in the sense of TOS. It's like us as fans like are like, oh man, Sarek, all the good old memories and the movies and stuff like that, and then it's like, yeah, but he's not going to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
It's
No.
like, no.
He has Alzheimer's though. He doesn't even know who he is or where he is anymore. So
Yeah. But we learn from Picard that he's 202 years old, which is pretty
nice.
crazy, which
It
means
is.
he was born just a few years after the foundation of the Federation. So he's almost as old as the Federation.
Wow.
There's a shot where after Troy suggests inviting Perrin to the concert, and Picard's like, what a fine idea. And he gets up and it holds with Riker. And Riker is like very pleased and looking at Troy. It made me laugh a lot. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Wow, you did a good job once. Wow, we'll have to write this down. I
Yeah.
wrote it down in my note in my diary.
Don't
Said,
forget.
Deanna made a very funny joke today. Yeah, like that was a funny suggestion. It's also funny that like Picard never would have thought of that.
Nah, he wouldn't. He doesn't talk to women.
Oh. Well, he certainly does.
No, I
talk to
know
women.
that was the joke. Yeah, he
I
goes in there and
thought
talks to Perrin.
I thought that was a little weird.
I will admit the first part is way weirder than any other part in the episode.
Yeah.
Because like it's a lot of those like this meeting could have been an email kind of vibes when he shows up at the room. Like he could have gone into his ready room, gone to the computer, and then called the quarters and been like, hello, and
Yeah.
like, hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that I was told that the ambassador can't make it, but perhaps you would like to still attend the event. And then her would be like, oh, I'll think about it. He'd be like, okay, thank you. And then like hang up.
Yeah.
And instead he goes to her quarters and he comes in and then he sits down on the couch and he says his couple lines and then he just gets up and leaves. And it's like, I don't think you physically had to go to the quarters for that to be.
Yeah. I don't mind him going there,
Okay.
but he could have just had that conversation like outside the door, like going into
Yeah.
her room and engaging. And then it was very flirtatious, I thought, She's like, I don't, Sarek's, he's meditating and he's like, oh, well, I'm actually here to see you. And she's like, well, I never get any visitors. And he's like, well, I find that hard to believe.
Oh, that's
Oh, I would love to visit you. It was very, it was very weird, I thought, but
yeah.
um,
Yeah. I can see that.
But yeah, no, it just was funny.
I don't disagree with you. I had a sense of being uneasy when that scene was happening too, so that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, Sarek is meditating and he can't meditate, and he's like, "Just leave me alone about it." It is of
Hmm.
no importance.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm 300 years old. Of course I can't meditate.
yeah, it's really funny. And then we cut back to Jordy and Wesley in that room, and they go at each other. That was really funny. And then we get a Leah Brahms reference in that scene too. So
Yeah.
it's like, at least I don't the women I go and see aren't from the holodeck. What does that mean? What is and then Riker comes
The
in.
hell?
Yeah,
It was very good. I really enjoyed that scene, actually.
yeah.
I liked them yelling at each other. What do you know about dating?
It's really funny how it's too bad that the synopsis got you and you were like prepared for it because for me, even though I remember the episode, when the scene first starts and they say just a couple one or two lines and you're like
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was just like I was caught off guard. I was like, oh, that's right, it happens this early in the episode because I always remember in my mind it like happened way at the end.
Yeah.
Basically the 10 forward stuff is like what I remembered. And
Well, I didn't know people were going to be fighting and arguing with each other.
okay,
So
okay.
it was a surprise that was
That's good.
happening.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it was very good. There's another creepy line that I thought
Okay.
when Wesley before the scene when Wesley's saying that he has a date,
Okay, yeah.
Jordy's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I know her. She's like really hot." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Some 16, 17-year-old that he's
Yeah.
commenting on.
Yeah.
Not a great idea.
He says that she's attractive, which is like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, he's not being gross. I know.
He's not being weird, but it was just like,
Maybe don't comment on children's appearances.
yeah,
Yeah, I do like though when in this part where Wesley leaves and then Riker's like, "What the?" He comes in and he's like, "Anything you want to talk about, Jordy?" And he's like, "No," and then walks away. And Riker's just like, "What is even happening?"
yeah. It's one of those things, though, that always annoys me is that,
Yeah.
this happens, and then somebody comes in and sees it, and then
Mm,
other things have happened on the ship, and then when they all kind of discuss it, they're like, hey, yeah, that doesn't really usually happen. Like, why is this? This is weird.
yeah.
This is weird. So you saw people fighting with each other too? That's weird. I don't know. That's weird. But it's a classic Trek thing, It's like, well,
Hmm.
the captain's acting very erratically. Oh well. It's like
Yes.
obviously there's something going on. You're in space. There's
Yeah.
aliens. There's magical beings. Things can go wrong. You should be prepared. Like,
Yeah.
okay, something's going on. It's always just like that's unusual, and then that's it.
What comes with a perfect society, Caleb, is
Yeah.
the absence of suspicion.
You can just let things go.
You're like,
The absence of suspicion. Yeah.
you're like, I would normally
Huh.
think poorly of this situation, but we don't
Yeah.
believe it's that anymore.
Somebody should do something about this, but well, I'm only the second in command, so
Yeah, there is a moment here talking about it because that goes to commercial break. We come back and Picard and Riker are going to the concert, and it's an
yeah,
interesting it's an interesting
yeah.
beat because Riker mentions to Picard that Geordi and Wesley, he said he felt
Well,
like they were about to hit each other.
Picard says he initiates that conversation and says
Yeah,
like, yeah, so Worf filed a complaint against, so and so, and he's like,
yeah,
well, he has a great record. What's going on? And then he's like, yeah, you know what? Wesley and Jordy almost killed each other in the. I
yeah,
don't know. That's weird though. That's really weird.
yeah. He
Well,
says
anyway,
that Worf filed insubordination, which is like that's a crazy
it
thing
is
to
high.
file.
It's a high thing.
And yeah, and then he come to blows, and then Picard makes this face where he's like obviously very confused and like concerned about what Riker is saying, and then Sarek walks in and he immediately is just like, I don't care about any of that.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's here.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and there was a moment where I was just like, okay, war filing for insubordination is like glaring, and I will definitely talk about it later and like talk to Worf about it later because right now it's not important. But Riker bringing up the fact that a senior staff member and Wesley were like about to fight each other. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's pretty bad, yeah.
Like I'm gonna go and investigate that right now. The concert isn't as important as that because that's like incredibly abnormal. Like, why is a grown man wanting to beat up a child? Like, I'm gonna go talk about that.
I don't think he thinks it's that unusual because he's also wanted to beat up Wesley on several occasions. Yeah, I knew Wesley would get under his skin at some point. I knew it. That stupid boy. I knew it.
Yeah. So in this scene, I really like how Data changes how he talks and how the words he chooses when he's speaking to like a Vulcan. I really enjoy how Brett Spiner acts towards Perrin and Sarek.
Will be our featured soloist this evening.
I have been programmed to reproduce the individual musical styles of over 300 concert violinists, including Heifetz, Menuhin, Grokte, and Tatalia. Do you have a preference?
Tatalia would be lovely.
I hope you find the performance pleasing.
I look forward to it.
Sarek doesn't say anything to Data. They don't talk to each other, but the way that Data is like conducting himself, he's very like proper and very on point. And I'll wait a little bit until the next scene with Data, but
I thought it was very cool that he was changing his composing based on their preference. I thought that was cool.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I really liked all that stuff. Then there's a really funny beat. So then he starts playing the Mozart music. I doubt I can do it good on camera. It'll be down below. I'll get the scene because it's very funny. So Sarek obviously is having like an emotional reaction to hearing the music. He loves it a lot and he likes it, and that's great, and it's all good, and it's a good acting. I don't dislike it. But there's this part where they're all like watching it like this.
Yeah.
Just like enjoying it, and then all of a sudden we get like a close-in zoom to Sarek, and it's like, is he getting ready to cry or sneeze? I'm not quite sure. And then Sacketh at the end is like,
yeah, yeah, he like leans over.
Leans forward. I just like it really made me laugh, just like his whole like staring down the barrel.
Yeah,
at Sarek. It was very good.
And then Sarek perfectly turns so like Picard can see the tear, you know.
Yeah, and Picard's like, a tear?
What the? Yeah. Imposter!
Yeah. That would have been really that. Can you imagine if that's how it went? Ah! That's what's so funny. I'll say it right here because this is what I think about in this episode. And I know it's lame for probably people out there who don't care about it, but whatever, it's our podcast. This thing that happens a lot, what you talked about earlier, and then things like this is what it's like with the RPG. Is like, I'll present something that like in an episode, everybody would just be like, well, that's weird, but I'll keep making my omelet or whatever. Or I'll keep walking down to the engineering bay because you guys are highly suspicious and like you're real people, you're not characters written on a page,
and we're playing a game, which obviously needs to lead to the next point.
Right. Everybody's like, no, I'd like to scan. I'm not moving from this spot. I'm scanning it. I'm gonna keep scanning. I'm analyzing it. And I'm like, in my mind, I'll start something, and it's like, nope. That's what we're doing right now. I'm not moving on from this point until I have a firm answer of why this is happening.
Yeah.
And it's always makes me laugh because if this was a scene in the RPG and I had a famous ambassador come on board and it was like, wow, he's a renowned ambassador, blah, blah, and he turns to his wife and Knightley sees the tear go down his face, she would be like, what's that? Immediately, it would just be like, the concert's over with. Who is this person?
Yep.
The story of finding out he has like emotional degradation of his brain is like the mission would be over within an hour.
Yeah, you're done.
I'd like to scan him before he leaves the concert room.
Yeah.
So he leaves, he cries, he leaves. And then we cut to
it is very funny how they just get up and leave, like right in the middle of Data's like performance, you know? Very funny. Didn't Picard do that? Yeah, Picard did that to him that other time.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, he's playing his recital, and then Picard just gets up.
Yes, yeah. And then we cut to Beverly and Wesley. That might win Best Scene award for you.
I liked it.
Where were you last night?
Yeah, I said I might go to the concert.
Whatever her name was.
Well,
wanted to
Captain
go to...
Picard was asking about where you were, and I looked like a fool. I looked like a fool.
He's like, don't you think you're overreacting? How?
How dare you get your hands?
And yeah, she gives him a good old biff across the face.
Right across it. Yeah.
And then it just immediately cuts to her in Troy's office. I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, so anyway, I slapped him right across his dumb face. And well, after he stopped crying, I came here. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Like, how does that play out? She just does it, and he's like, why? And she's like, I don't know why. I don't know. And it just runs out of the medical room.
Yeah.
She scans herself. Okay. I don't have an alien parasite in my brain, and then runs the counselor.
And then, yeah, I know that's a funny scene too, because then Deanna's like, "Well, why did you hit him?" I don't know. I just got really mad. She's like, Well, that's really important because this is like the 12th case I've heard today of people just getting violently angry. Like, oh, okay. So there's like an actual issue going on, and you're just inept as always. Got it.
Yeah. She says 10 different experiences in the last 2 days. And I have to admit, like you said, she's inept. It's like by the second experience, I would be like, nope.
So the year that you've been, since we all joined the Enterprise, when Picard took over the Enterprise, beginning of season 1.
Right.
It's been what? Let's say maybe it's been a year, okay?
I think it's been 2 years, but go ahead, yeah.
Great. Perfect. Even better. So it's been 2 years you've been on board, you've been serving this position on board the Enterprise. How many fights and people being aggressive have you seen all together? Right? Maybe a few. Maybe a few.
Sure.
But in the past 2 days, you've had 12. Right when Sarek came aboard, a Vulcan who you say, like, as soon as they start to, like, express ideas on, like, what's going on, she's like, oh, well, he's a Vulcan, and there's this disease after you reach 200, and because he's telepathic, that's probably what's going on. But I don't know. I'm just a psychiatrist. I just listen to people's problems. I don't know anything about it. Like, okay. Thanks for catching on as usual to what's going on. Yeah. Oh man, it was so funny to me.
It is very funny. Listen, it's the Avenger problem all over again, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like she doesn't bring up the fact that she knew that Sarek was having disturbing thoughts until later. Remember? Because she's at this point has seen Sarek cry, or she sensed Sarek having like disturbing, emotions.
Didn't say anything about it. Yeah, I don't know.
Like Beverly comes in and is like, I slapped Wesley. I don't know why. And then it's like, how are you not talking to the chief medical officer about?
She's like, well, again, have you spent time with Wesley? It's like, okay, that's not really out of the normal to hit Wesley.
Like, well, I guess, yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's as Captain Lamar said in his previous review of Hollow Pursuits, it's another Troy's bad at her job episode.
Troy's bad at her job. Yep.
But this is the thing I want to talk about. So we go to the bridge, and Data and Saketh are talking to each other on the bridge, and they're going back and forth, and he's asking Data all these questions. That is a good scene. I like it a lot. And it's simply because Brett Spiner and the guy who plays Saketh, Rocco Sistu, it was the thing I want to talk about with you. We've had Dr. Solar.
Yeah.
But how nice was it to have Vulcans on the Enterprise? Like,
it was great.
Talking Vulcan stuff.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic.
Their robes with the script on them.
Oh, it's great. I know. I love it.
The stuff with like I don't know what they call that stuff, but it's like a extra piece on top of his robes that's like an extended.
It's like a sash. It's almost like a sash type thing.
Kind of like a sash, yeah.
Well, I promise you and make a vow to you now that all of my awards this week will be Vulcan.
Very good. You'll figure out the Vulcan words and say them all in Vulcan.
Yep. Best action scene, Sarek crying. Best Enterprise thing, circling the planet Vulcan.
I love it. I look forward forward to it. But yeah,
Yep.
just a really great
Yeah.
scene, and it made me really happy, and it also made me really sad because
Yeah, make me really sad. Yeah,
yeah, it's very glaring. It's very glaring, and I
it is.
know
It's
that
really
like
stupid.
for the '90s people watching it, it was nice because you're getting the TOS movies, and then you're also watching this, and all this stuff is like hasn't come to an end, but. Like this is how it would be if we had, as we're watching it chronologically, like this is how it's presented, and it's much more glaring of how
Yep.
much the Vulcans are not in the show anymore.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then we've even had episodes where like, stuff is going on and they're like, well, I don't know. Nobody on the ship can do anything. And like you said, like, well, you don't have any Vulcan staff members on the ship that can do all these like amazing things,
No, no, not at all.
Nope. It's like we got to see the proto Vulcans, which was cool. And then, Solar is a great character, and I'm so like just upset that like that's just like yeah, that was cool, right? Now she's a Klingon, so that's even cooler because remember Klingons are cool.
Do
You're like, yeah, Klingons are cool, but
really cool.
it'd be really cool is to see like a Klingon and a Vulcan
What?
together.
Blasphemy.
Shut the hell! Shut your mouth! Oh my god. Yeah. I was just picturing like Gene Roddenberry in the writing room and somebody mentioned that. Oh man.
I don't want to hear this. You're fired.
You're get out of here. You'll never write in this.
And I'll destroy your career. I'll destroy it. Wow.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
So we have that really good scene with Data and Saketh. We go to the 10 forward, and we have a really I hardcore laughed at probably this whole bit where O'Brien comes up to Rando, which is
That's my table.
Yeah. Those are our next two. I think our final two guest appearances of the episode was Colomini as O'Brien and John H. Francis, another character actor who had even less information on. He's playing random science officer. But yeah, that was so funny how they go back at it. And Geordi's like, hey, there's other tables. And O'Brien's like, we'll see about that, buddy. We'll see.
Yeah.
And
it's very good.
It cuts to the corridor, and Riker's like,
oh, man.
He's like, dude, I got to tell you, you writing up, well, I think it was like D'Amato or something. It was like, you writing up D'Amato for insubordination is like kind of crazy. Like, what? That's a big charge. And Worf's like, yeah, but he challenged my authority like directly to my face. Like, what do you? I don't. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, he was fully insubordinate. And Riker's like, yeah, I know, but it's weird. It's like, it's like everybody's at each other's throats or something. It's like tension on the ship is really high, and Worf's like, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, and then they open the door and it's just a full brawl. Oh. I see what you mean, yeah.
and we cut to this. I don't know. It's funny. It's okay. It made me laugh, but it's really stupid. Where Worf is like got the two guys. He's going like,
yeah,
and he's like struggling. I was just like,
well, he's not strong. He doesn't have any like super alien strength or anything. So
I just wanted to go around. There's that move. I think one of the guys does it in this scene. I think they do it to Geordi. No, they do it to Riker. Where they do it's the palm upward thrust.
He does, yeah. Right in the nose.
And I was
like, all right, everybody, let's just wrap it up. He's like,
and I was thinking that's the Worf maneuver. That's what he should have been doing, just going around just popping people in the face.
Palming them, yeah, I know.
Oh man.
It's pretty good. You know what? This not that she would have done anything, but it's funny to not have Guinan in this scene.
Come up behind the counter with her like weird laser confetti gun that she has.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Imagine if Lowell was still working at 10 forward.
She's killing everyone. It's really funny. I just remember they made me laugh. It was good. You could see through the windows like people's like legs and arms like doing weird things, and then the doors open. Like, kill them.
Yeah, it's really good. That one guy goes over the counter because obviously you got to go over the counter.
You have to.
Yeah. Where else
like
you gonna go?
You can imagine as like a stunt coordinator as like, okay, what are we doing? And they're talking about it, and then somebody pipes up like, well, are you gonna have a guy go over the counter? And they all look at him like, who's this guy? This guy's so
Get out of get. This isn't a Western. Get out of here. I'm like, all right, so put some padding on the other side of that
Right.
counter, please.
Right, exactly.
That's actually a really good idea.
That's
I like that a
amazing.
lot. Yeah, I like that. Can we put like some glass bottles and stuff on the top of the counter so like you
Yeah.
can smash through it? That'd be good. I like that.
Anyways, so yeah, it's a really funny scene, and this is our halfway point. So go down to the comment section and tell us what you love about Balkans. So we come back from our commercial break, and we get to see 10 Forward with its full lights on, which was kind of crazy. Like all of the lights are like super bright in 10 Forward, and Picard and everybody's investigating. And this is where we get our working theory that Sarek is responsible for all the outbursts because of something called the Bendai syndrome. And there's a scene here where Troy is like explaining all of this stuff to Picard, and he's like, "Well, would it affect the Lagarans that are coming aboard for this treaty, this peace thing?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, possibly." And he's like, "Ah, shit." He turns away from her like super exasperated, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
but like, what do you expect? This is really funny, just how he was so upset with it. So they obviously take this to Perrin and Sarek, and the theory is immediately refuted. Nope, it's just not. That's not true.
No.
And then we have a really good scene again with Data and Saketh in the slime pit room. I really enjoyed that scene again. Because he's like, I just like how Saketh is like, I do not recall saying those specific words. And then Data's like, he doesn't even like acknowledge that like he's trying to like skirt around it. Data's just like, oh, but here are all these facts that you did. And he's just like, well,
Yeah.
what if I have no argument to stand on? It's illogical to not, at least admit that there's something going on. I thought it was an interesting discussion about how old age is still an enemy. That was an interesting thing.
Yeah, I liked Picard saying that. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I think I've said that, even with all this amazing tech and stuff, it doesn't do anything.
We see what happens when you try to not get old. We've already seen the Admiral go back to his other state.
Yeah. I found the fountain of youth.
Everything's great.
I've been injecting this purple stuff in my body directly. I don't even know what it is.
But then we have a really interesting scene after all that, after the discussion. Picard's like, well, I don't look forward to having to tell Sarek that this is like, he's not fit to hold the proceedings.
Yeah.
And Riker's like, why is everyone protecting him? I don't understand it. And he's like, well, and they start going at each other, and oh, don't you dare talk to me that way. How could you speak to me like this?
Tell me what to do. I'm the captain.
And then Data steps in, and it's really interesting. Data steps in. I like it a lot. Worf is also very curious in the background. And then Picard is just like, yes, you were correct. I will go and fulfill that duty now. And like he leaves. And Riker looks at Data like, can you believe Picard overreacted? He makes his face to Data like, idiot. That was like, apparently Picard has more wherewithal in his mind to like settle down from anger than Riker does. So he goes in to talk to them to tell. Oh, that's right. The theory was refuted by Mendrosen, the human guy, not Perrin. This is the part now where Perrin, he goes in and she's like, no, he definitely doesn't have that problem. And then Sarek comes in and he's like,
yeah,
why would you think I have a problem? There's no issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
Then I think honestly, we go to a commercial break, we come back, and I think it's probably one of the stronger scenes of the episode is Sarek trying to like assuage Picard's fears while having some mild outbursts, and then as it goes on, he makes a great line I immediately thought of you, so I kind of like wrote part of it down, which was, he's like, is it not unusual for starships to encounter unexplained phenomena? And I was like, it's really funny that like Sarek just is like, of course, So something crazy is happening on your ship. You think I have this disease that I don't think I have, and I don't think I'm having these outbursts. I'm in control. So isn't it more likely that it's some other unexplained thing is happening to the ship? Like, it's not me. And Picard's like, she is still looking into things, but, you know, you have to admit it's like when you came aboard.
Yeah, the logic dictates that, you know,
Right.
it's you.
And then Picard tells Sarek that he saw him cry, and he's like, no, I did not cry. And we get...
I was tired.
I was fatigued, yes. Is it logical for a Vulcan to cry?
Yeah, it was really good. That scene's really good.
Yeah.
And he gets really upset at the end.
We finally get to the scene that I now can talk to you about. I can now share. I can now say it freely. Every time we have watched new Star Trek or an episode of classic Trek and it just doesn't make sense or it goes against Star Trek principles or whatever, I know from internet memes and also just myself, and this is what just Star Trek fans do, is yell and scream, illogical! Illogical! Like he does in the scene. And
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's what you want to do. I've seen many videos making fun of new Trek, and then they cut to this scene of Mark Leonard screaming illogical. So
yeah,
it's very good.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a great. Honestly, I think it's a really great scene. Two major actors, Patrick Stewart and Mark Leonard, just what do they call it? I've heard actors say it. They eat the scenery or something, or they chew it. They chew it up or something. But yeah,
something stupid.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's something stupid, that sounds like it's time for trivia.
Oh, not again. All right, now you're overacting.
So, in trivia, according to Michael Piller, the story originally pitched involved another ambassador who begins to have mental problems on a mission. Oh, I wonder, you mean like Tam Elburn? Or
no,
perhaps
nothing
any
like
other
that.
ambassadors?
No. Those were all admirals.
He recalls, as we started talking about it in-house on staff, we said what would really be interesting is if you took a very powerful member of either Starfleet Command or the Federation and have them going through a time of their lives, like so many of our parents, where they're beginning to have problems with aging. From that point, it was 2 or 3 steps of somebody saying, how can we turn it into a science fiction show? Somebody said, if you were a Vulcan, you could have some real telepathic impact from some kind of disease. And from that point, it was really short steps to, what about Sarek? Sarek is an extraordinarily honorable character who we felt obliged to protect and deal with in a very respectful manner. At the same time, this becomes an extraordinarily personal story, a real stunning show. So that's cool.
Yeah.
He also noted that the use of an established character like Sarek brings home the idea that even the greatest of men is subject to mental illness. And it's true. There's a lot of stuff out there of people that I appreciate, and then they get a lot older, and you just see them decline.
Yeah.
So here's where we get into basically the issue of what you brought up earlier. So Mark Cushman recalled that after he pitched the story of Sarek going through senility, Gene Roddenberry had him write 2 scripts, one with Sarek and another with a new Vulcan character. Roddenberry, quote-unquote, started to have second thoughts about tying the 2 shows together, Cushman said. After some time had passed, the Next Generation had been on for more than 2 years. Roddenberry came to feel that the time was right to make the episode with Sarek. And then Piller goes on, there was even a deeper resonance to the story. He says, what I remember most about that episode, however, is that in a very real way, it reflected what was going on with the show at the time we wrote it. Gene was beginning to go into decline. Not that he was completely uncommunicative, but it was clear that he was not the same man that he had been.
Mm.
We all respected him so much, and he had been such an important, strong leader of the franchise and everything it stood for. But here is this great man, and I've only known him for less than a year at this point. Here is this great man going into decline, and I immediately felt a very strong connection to the premise of Sarek, because I could see that it really was about the universe that we lived in on a daily basis. If you go back and look at Sarek closely, what that character is Gene Roddenberry.
Wow.
And so this obviously touches on his decline where, we're getting closer to him passing away. And I can imagine it was kind of heartbreaking to have the creator of the franchise, just not be what he once was.
Yeah, no, I know. That's not fun.
No. So a little blip in between here. To do some research for writing the mind meld scene between Sarek and Picard, Idris Stephen Bear and Ronald D. Moore watched a scene from Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, in which Sarek mind melds with Kirk.
The best one.
The best one.
That and the whales.
Wow. But that's after 3.
Yeah.
Intentionally. So Idris Stephen Bear wanted to include more direct references to Sarek's sons.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
But
I mean, he used to be on the Enterprise, so
No.
that'd be nuts.
No, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But recalled it was a great challenge to even mention the character at all.
Why?
As there was caution among the writing staff at this time towards referencing the original series.
Why?
Idra added, I broke open the barrier and made it possible for the next generation to use names like Illogical on screen.
That's so stupid.
That was a major taboo when I got there. No way could you mention the original Star Trek characters.
You had Bones in the first episode.
It took days and days of arguing to slip in a single reference to Illogical. So I like to think in my own way, sort of incoherent way, I helped push open the door to what was a very, very closed and narrow franchise.
Wow. That's crazy.
It is. It really is.
Like, it makes no sense. Like, so you can reference history from 600 years ago, but you can't reference history from, 50, 60 years ago.
No.
You're not going to do anything with those characters again anyway, so what's the deal?
Yeah. And they had said, too, in trivia, another person had said, you had literally had McCoy in the pilot, so, what are we doing?
It's dumb. It's real dumb.
It's bad. So that is really where it comes from. And honestly, even before his decline, basically, Gene Roddenberry is the reason why you don't get any TOS stuff in it, at all. And how painfully they had to fight just to have Illogical dad show up on the Enterprise. It was a struggle to do that.
Well, it shouldn't be that big of a fight just to mention a name, for God's sakes. Just to say the words Illogical. Oh my God, no. Nope.
Yeah.
Can't mention
Illogical. I get the desire to stand on your own 2 feet and don't reference the thing that came before you. So we're not trying to build our home on the foundation of something else. I do understand that.
Yeah, and you've done that though. But it's
exactly
the third season. It's the third season, and also that's how history works.
Right.
You're talking about this thing no, it's taboo to talk about it. It's no, it's history. It's not. You're not referencing your other show. You're referencing the universe of your show, the history of your show. It's stupid. It's a stupid way to think about it,
It is. No, it is. And I think we're fortunate now in our time where it's they almost over reference things.
Yeah, I know. It makes you at least appreciate that, Yeah. Do I want Kirk on every episode of Stranger Worlds? No.
No.
But at least it's not a thing that the writers are you can't even say Kirk's name.
Right. It's the thing. I have mixed feelings about it. They cast Thomas Jane as McCoy. It's do I want McCoy in the show? No. Do I look forward to him acting as McCoy?
Absolutely. Yeah, but I would rather see them in a different show called Year One,
Yeah.
right?
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
And let Pike be the captain and let Pike do stuff on his own ship for a little bit.
Yep. In a 1994 interview, Mark Lenard noted, the script dealt with a Vulcan with a very rare disease, kind of a version of Alzheimer's. I knew something about that. We used to call it senility when I was a kid. So I didn't consciously do a lot of stuff. Part of it was what the script demanded, and the other part was instinct. Cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, he's a great actor. The thing I love is like when you watch the older actors of olden times, like they are a little over dramatic and sometimes like too put on. But the thing that I love is when it becomes like the 80s and the 90s and now they're like 70, 80-year-old men and women. Like, tell you what, they know how to act though. They're not like
Yeah.
they're not just like, well, what's my line say? Oh, I read my line. Oh yes, this thing's happening. It's
Yeah.
like you believe that these characters are real. Like, I know Mark Lenard has played other characters and he's done other things with his life, but it's like when he shows up, that dude understands what Vulcans are.
Yeah.
And he comes to play. Like, he's doing work. He's not just like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, what's my paycheck? What's my line? It's like,
Yeah.
he's conscious of what this means for the franchise. Like, they're going to use his acting, his posture, his cadence, everything about him is the gait of his walk. They're going to literally study everything, and writers and fans are going to analyze everything he does and then be like, this is how Vulcans act, period.
Yep.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind that Jolene Balak, when she was doing T'Pol, didn't go and watch scenes of Leonard Nimoy and Sarah and Mark Lenard.
Oh, yeah.
playing.
100%. Yeah.
So it's just like, doesn't matter how many, scripts and quote unquote like Star Trek Bibles you write. It's like you're going to go watch the actor's performance at the end of the day. So I thought you would like this as a good remembrance. Trivia was funny this way. It says Picard's crumbling emotions mirroring Sarek's inner turmoil is an echo of the similar scene of illogical in the Naked Time episode, even down to it being a single take being used.
Wow.
So remember when illogical he gets that drunk disease where he loses his inhibitions and the door closes and he's like, oh, but I can't.
Yeah.
With Christine Chapel and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do it in one take and he goes to the table and he like cries and yeah. I remember reading in trivia, I think when we reviewed that episode, that like it was Leonard Nimoy had done that all in one take, just like Patrick Stewart had done all of that in one take.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
It's pretty cool, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Two extremely high caliber actors just blowing it out of the park. And we'll talk about that soon. Here's our last bit of trivia. Ronald D. Moore commented, I think in some ways, this episode, it's even better than Journey to Babel. Mark Lenard has a chance to do some solid acting. It's a character-driven show, and that's different for us. And yeah, he's great in Journey to Babel, where he's funny with the Tellarite and all that stuff. But yeah, he's very good in this episode. Yeah, so we come back out of trivia. We're in the last part of the show. Perrin persuades Picard to help Sarek. When she comes to the ready room, he goes down. Sarek offers to protect Picard from the mind meld, but Picard just is like, nope, it's too important, and
use my brain.
Exactly.
Use me. Yes, hey.
And yeah, there's a cool little scene between Picard and Beverly. We finally get like something maybe is happening here outside of Allegiance, because Allegiance it was fake Picard. Yep. So now we're starting to get some more interesting Beverly Picard stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you would appreciate when they cut to Sarek walking down the hallway. Obviously, they change his makeup, so he looks a lot more put together. He looks a lot more cleaner, and like his eyes don't look as tired and all these things.
Yeah, they get rid of like his shadowing and stuff.
Yeah, and then he goes, "There's nothing to be concerned about, number one." And I was like, excellent.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, how's Picard? He's like, oh, Picard's fine. And then you see Picard in the room and he's not fine.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah.
He is losing his mind. And there's a word that he says, he yells at Bedlam. It made me laugh. It was very good. So
Yeah.
here's the thing.
The screams for the children.
Yes, yes, yes. So here's the thing. Name dropping Amanda is awesome, and name dropping Spock is awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't think Patrick Stewart acts badly in this scene. And I get, like, what are you supposed to, like, as an actor, hey, some other person's emotions are being, like, dumped into your mind.
Yeah.
And
Deal with it.
and go, like, in scene.
Yeah.
I get that. And honestly, him crying into Beverly was great. And the thing, not to get too sappy about it, because I could get really sappy about it really quick, but the scene itself is fine, and Patrick Stewart does a great job, and the tears and him crying and him like like all that stuff is great and intense and like very dramatic, and it's fine. But the thing that like made me get sappy was like I was just thinking of the stuff that when he was saying. I just was thinking about like people in our both of our lives separately and togetherly, like who are just older, and it's just like the pain and misery that they experience by just merely being old. And it's like the things that he
Yeah.
says, like the loss of friends and like not being able to convey all of the things you want to convey, and the missed opportunities and the regrets and things of that nature. And it's just like that is very heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what was making me get a little bit more emotional in the scene rather than, oh, poor Sarek. I was thinking of like legitimate older people, like just having a miserable time at the end of their life. But
Yeah. Especially now after trivia and knowing that that's basically mirroring like Roddenberry.
yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of a bummer.
It is kind of a bummer. Yeah, I know, right? And you think about it here, whatever it was, just a couple days ago from our recording, like George Lucas is getting some crazy like lifetime award at the Saturns or something like that. Like they just honored
Yeah.
George Lucas, and he's still alive, and he still has his like he's still doing things, and he makes appearances once in a while, and then it's like Roddenberry died like 30 something years ago. So it's like,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and I don't know. I wonder how it would have been if he was still around.
I hate to say it, like we always talk about, I am grateful for the man creating the franchise that I like so much, but I definitely don't think the stuff that we go on to like the most about Star Trek, I don't think it would exist.
No, I don't think so.
I think the only reason season 3, sadly, gets good and is having really strong, good episodes is because he's not involved as much. He's not, dictating what they show on the screen.
Yeah.
And that sucks. We've talked about it before, and it does legitimately suck that like the creator of everything is like getting in his own way, but at the same time he has the right to say what he wants the show to be. Maybe it just means that fans don't like what it is, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like
It's true.
it's very obvious, and that's the thing is TOS fans love Gene Roddenberry, but
Yeah.
fans who are like kind of blasé towards TOS, really what they like is Rick Berman Star Trek.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's just the reality of it. And that's okay. It's because now it's Alex Kurtzman, and there's people out there that love all the new stuff and they can't get enough of it, and that's fine. That's how Star Trek is supposed to work.
Yeah, I love TOS and I appreciate Roddenberry. But moving forward, there's a lot of stuff that he wanted control over, which just is. But George Lucas did the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
George Lucas he almost ruined Star Wars
Oh yeah, he totally
before he let Disney ruin Star Wars. But
did. Right.
that's I think Roddenberry would have done the same thing. I think Roddenberry would have sold it. He would have sold the rights.
Maybe. He was pretty protective of it, but maybe.
Yeah. I don't know though.
I want to say, because like if he had lived for another 9 years and he saw Lucas do Phantom Menace again,
Yeah.
I think Roddenberry would have held tight to the franchise if he had lived for another 9 years.
Yeah, probably.
Who knows what that type of Star Trek would have looked like, with it kind of like still being kind of blasé. Like imagine season 4, season 5, maybe season 6, if it doesn't get canceled, like staying in the like season 2, season 3 vein of episodes where they're
Yeah.
like most of them are okay, some of them are really good, some of them are very bad. And then all of a sudden like a resurgence of sci-fi stuff at the end of the decade,
Yeah, and I don't picture like a company like Disney buying them either.
No way, no. Yeah. So then we, like you said, we don't see any of the aliens. We don't see any of the whatever, like the treaty, like the
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It
We don't
literally
see-
was just like, well, that went better than expected. I've only been preparing for that for 90 years. That's good.
Yeah, I would have liked them to show at least him at the table. I get like, you don't got the budget or you don't got whatever for the alien prosthetics, and you want them to look really weird because they live in a slime pit. I get it, whatever.
No, they said the alien prosthetics is super cheap and super easy and quick to do. So
I know, but you want them to be super weird, but because they live in slime, so I get it. Like that's a little
I
beyond.
I do think that's better in some aspects.
I
Is me designing it in my head is better
Yes,
than
yeah. Well, yeah,
yeah.
than what they've shown. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I do wish that they had at least showed Mark Lenard like in there, like Sarek in there.
Now is he in is he in the slime bath with him going over the
I mean, he hated the chairs. He said they hate the chairs, so you would assume that if he's having it, he's either standing outside of it or he's in the pit with him. I don't know. But I just wish that they had showed him doing it and like did an interesting cut where they cut the Picard like absolutely like his mind is shattering and he's like he can barely hold it together and he's crying and weeping and just
Mhm.
and then they cut to like Mark Lenard and he's doing like Picardisms where he's like fixing his like robes, like pulling them down, or he's saying things
Yeah.
like
He's like
schedule. What's he say?
schedule.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the schedule. And he's like, I just picture Picard like just screaming in agony.
Right.
And then you cut back to Sarek and he's like, so you guys want spaghetti night every Tuesday.
right.
And you guys want it on Wednesday. So why don't we both you guys do it on Tuesday and you guys do it on Wednesday?
No.
It's just like
No.
it's just like meaningless like negotiations, It's just like
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
really of man.
Yeah.
Like anybody could have done it, but he's been preparing for like 90 years to do it, and it's this big
Right.
thing, and
Right.
it's literally just like nothing. It's like
Yeah, it's just two people just being stupid about small things.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we're in the transporter room, and I tell you, as much as we didn't get the scene, and it's a little bit of a bow on it, just a smidge, a tiny little bow. Picard and Sarek saying goodbye to each other and doing the Vulcan salute was pretty.
It was really good.
Very good. So
Part of me will always be inside of you, Picard.
we will always have like each other, and he's like, I'm very confident that I got the better part of that.
Yeah, and he looked at each other and he goes, "We'll always have Paris," and then he leaves.
Yeah. I remember Jeremy, and he gets onto the transport.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
It's an interesting thing. I am legitimately curious to see if Patrick Stewart plays any bit differently by having some of Sarek like in his mind.
Nope,
Okay,
not a chance. Only if Patrick Stewart decided to do that on his own.
Yeah, that's true.
Will
That's
you
true.
see that? Yeah.
That's true. Well, that was our review of the episode. We appreciate you guys watching and sticking it out with us. It's a really good episode to see a TOS member alum return to the series. But before we conclude and talk about next week's episode, let's do the thing that everyone's been waiting for.
Caleb.
So, Caleb, who gets the Erica Ortegas Award for being the most unlikable character of the episode?
I don't like his human guy, but can't do it. Can't do it. Let's just say it's the other Vulcan guy. His
Saketh?
yeah, Saketh. Yeah, don't like him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you can pick Mendrosin. It's fine.
No, it's got to be all Vulcan stuff. Told you. I stuck to it. I'm gonna stick to it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't like how he looks at him.
Oh, you hate
during
that
the-
scene that
during the
I
effort,
dragged
yeah.
out. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I dragged it out and you hated it. Didn't even
Yep.
stop me.
Nope. Nope. You got to live your truth.
Well, then who gets the Elizabeth Cutler Award for being the most forgettable character of the episode?
It's one of the Vulcan scientists on the Enterprise that didn't even come up to see Sarek. There you go.
Wow.
Solar. She's still on board doing something. No idea.
Yeah.
What's she doing? It doesn't matter.
Well, it's not logical to interrupt an ambassador. It's too emotional to have reverence for somebody. So very good. Well, who gets the Mugatu Award for being the best alien of the episode?
Sarek for being a Vulcan.
Yeah. Yep, that's very good. That's great. Well, it was. I mean, like we talked about, it was nice to see all the Vulcan stuff. Even see Planet Vulcan, see the clothes, all that stuff. All honestly, right? All those like crazy gems and all those like stones and stuff like on everybody. Like
I love
it was over the top, but it was great.
I like it a lot.
Next is the Trip Tucker Award for the MVP of the episode.
Definitely Picard for mind melding with a Vulcan.
Yeah, that was the thing we talked about when we watched Devil in the Dark. And it was always like, I think T'Pol says it, or maybe Spock says it in an early episode, like they have to touch to be telepathic.
Yeah.
And then we see the Devil in the Dark with the Horda, and he's like, no! And he's like not touching it, right? Because he can't, because it's going to burn his hands. But it's so funny how there's not really like a solid line in the sand of like how Vulcan telepathy really works. It's like,
and for it to affect people, if you can't control his telepathy, like some sort of Professor X situation.
Right, exactly, right. Or
it's like okay, so you probably don't have to touch people then to do it.
Right.
You have to touch to mind meld, but that's a whole different.
But do you? That's why like, do you? I don't know. Right. So it's a thing where it's fine, and obviously I don't care, but it's just like it's fast and loose stuff with Vulcan telepathy things.
Yeah, do what you want.
Next is the Beep Award for the best line of the episode.
It's Sarek screaming illogical.
That's the best line. Nice. I thought maybe Worf was going to get it for I see what you mean, but that's can't be Klingon.
Can't be
Klingon. Oh, that's true. It can't be. Get that. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's a great, and I hope you remember it for all time, just like you'll remember.
I'll never forget it.
Good.
I'll never let it go.
Good. Next is the Shran Award for the best action sequence.
It's when Sarek cries.
Wow. I can't wait till that wins the ultimate season 3 award.
It's going to be the ultimate.
I didn't know tears affected you that much.
They don't. Only when it's a male Vulcan.
Nice. Well, next is the NX-01 award for some sweet ship stuff.
That's when the Enterprise is flying in orbit of Vulcan.
I love it.
Seeing planet Vulcan and the new Enterprise is cool.
It is. Nice. Well, next is the Porthos Award, the Oliver Pratt Award for the cheesiest thing of the episode.
I feel as if some of the Picard emotion scenes are a little cheesy.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
And I think that fits because that was because of the Vulcan mind meld. So that's fair. Yeah, I think some of it's a little cheesy, a little over the top, but yeah. He was like, Beverly, are you still there? Oh my God. Yeah. No, so honestly, in that scene, what is the line? There is a line that it was very funny to me. He's trying to say a word, and it's like he's like forcing it out because like he can't say it as like a Vulcan.
I think he's talking about his love for Perrin or Amanda or something.
Yeah, I wanted to treat you with such tenderness. Yes, that's okay. That's it. That line right there that's the cheesiest part. Yeah. Not being able to say the word tenderness because it's an emotion. It was very funny to me.
So next and lastly is the Star Trek Enterprise Award for the best scene of the episode.
That's definitely the Picard and Sarek like departure Vulcan goodbye. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Nice. Cool.
Peace and long life, and then he says, "Live long and prosper."
Yeah. Seems like
then
Patrick
he holds
Stewart
his wife's hand as they transport.
Yes.
Disgusting.
That's what Picard
Disgusting. Yes, that's what he got from Picard.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good. It seems like Patrick Stewart and Mark Lenard can't really separate their fingers enough to make a good Vulcan salute, but we'll take it.
No, it's impossible. You have to like glue your fingers together to do it.
I mean, I could do it. I could do it with both hands.
I've never been able to do it. That's why I've always been a Star Trek fan. They're Star Wars fans.
Ha ha!
Oh, shoot!
Well, very good. That's what Caleb thought of the episode. We appreciate him taking the time to make all the awards. Well, Vulcan. Yeah, we thank him for that. And so now it's your turn to let us know what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you want more of it? Or would you have rather have seen a different S-named Vulcan? Cybok. Let us know down below.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
So here's the thing that we put out on the channel many months ago. I put a poll out to see of what I thought were the worst episodes for us to watch for this season. And I said, what trailer do you want Caleb to watch? And you all voted for next week's episode, which is Menage a Troy.
No, I can't.
Transport 4, immediately.
Troy and her mother are kidnapped by the evil Ferengi.
Your telepathic powers could bring us both great profit.
And a devious plan could rob them of their telepathic abilities.
Give her to me.
Now, Riker is the only one who can stop their deadly experiment.
We have to help her.
Get away from her.
On Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh my God. I don't even need to watch it. I feel like I've seen the whole thing. I've seen it. I've seen it all. Oh, it's so weird too, knowing like the Ferengi Roddenberry thing, and now that's like his wife is.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
So next week's episode will be episode 24. Yeah, so we have that to look forward to. That will certainly be an incredibly fun episode to talk about.
You and I have a very different version of the word look forward to.
We'll talk about it when we get there. But that's all right. So we appreciate you guys following along. We look forward, we do, to see what you guys think about next week's episode. So stick with us. But until then, if you enjoyed our review of this episode, please like the video. If you dislike a review of this episode, please dislike the video. Share it with all your friends and family and Trek enthusiasts. Subscribe so you don't miss a review. And ring that bell. Bling, so you can catch a review as soon as it hits the channel. And then when you're done watching reviews, you don't want to hear more about Star Trek or just us talking about Star Trek episodes, you can always go over to Caleb's channel. Caleb has a fun prop tutorial channel where he makes cool, interesting things from pop culture, and he always has something fun and interesting out on his channel, usually on Thursdays. So make sure you go over there and check it out. If you like live action and animated Batman, you can go over there and catch out his diorama that he made.
What if the animated series Batman owned all of the cool modern day Batman vehicles? That would be cool.
That's true.
That'd be cool to see.
Yeah, so if you like that, you can check it out. He can share with you the files that he printed, and you can paint it yourself. You can always go over there and watch that. And every single month on the 19th, Caleb and I are talking about Dragon Ball Z. I'm watching that along. We are knee-deep in the Cell Games saga. Can't believe it. Can you believe the games that they're playing? Yeah. So, yeah, we have that to look forward to. Yeah, and next week is First Contact Day. So we look forward to that. That'll be fun. And guess what? On First Contact Day, Menage a Troy will come out. What an honor to Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
The version of First Contact Day that I celebrate is the one where we as humans shoot the Vulcan messenger. So thank you very much. First Contact Day.
If you want to honor Caleb, go and watch In a Mirror Darkly Parts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He would appreciate that. And for myself, go and watch, go watch that thing, because that's what I watch. So everybody knows. They know. I don't have to say it. They know. We appreciate you guys sticking it out with us. We hope you enjoyed the TOS content as much as we did. We thank Ed Mark Starr and Captain Elimar once again for their Patreon support. Those guys are too kind to us, and we don't deserve their appreciation. So this has been our review of Sarek And until Menage a Troy next week, computer, compile a list of the best actors ever, but only in Star Trek.
That sounds ridiculous.
Well, I mean, there's no really any other better actors out there.
Like, nobody from Star Trek has ever become, like, majorly famous. I mean, it's kind of a mute point.
I mean, are we talking? What are you saying? Patrick Stewart? I mean, well, come on.
So the one you're gonna name the one that became famous?
LeVar Burton.
No, Reading Rainbow sucked. I hated it. I can't even read because of LeVar Burton. It's ridiculous.
Well, who are you gonna name? What are you gonna name? Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he's great. He loves all the roles he's been in. He's very. You're stupid. I'm sick of this show. I'm sick of it.